Hebert was one of those guys that got a chance to play in the rookie games. That kind of transitioned into a good camp and some results in the preseason games. So
yeah, he's had a really good camp. I think he's impressed everybody with his hockey sense. He's a good two-way player, but then on the end of that, there's that skill level that we've seen in camp where he can make plays, he can find holes, he can shoot the puck, and he's young, but it was a good camp for him and a noticeable camp.
Kevin Fiala got his goal tonight. Can you just talk about the play you've seen from him out of camp and just his game tonight?
He's an explosive, dynamic young talent, and he does a lot of good things on the ice. He's got a high level skill level, and he can really create things. For a young kid to come over here, you always worry about defensively, and I think there's some things that we talk to him about and we work with him with, but for the most part, he understands the concept of defense and what we're trying to do here too. So from being a two-way player, I think he's done a good job. Obviously, you notice the puck when he hits a hole like he did, and he gets the puck on his stick, and he's able to zing it in just a quick moment. But he's come here, and I think he's been a good player, and so it's been. I think he's had a good camp, and tonight he got an opportunity to. To get out with some guys like Ribeiro and Neal for a few shifts, or Jokinen for some shifts, and I thought he did a good job.
Both of your goaltenders played full games tonight. Can you just talk about the thinking behind that in the preseason in order to get them some reps and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to reps for sure, and even our players, like the last two games that we play, they'll probably be heavily lined with our guys, and we've got to be game ready for game one. Exhibition season is about evaluation. It's about implementing a system. It's about conditioning and pace, and it's also about preparing to make sure you win the first game. So we've got to make sure that our guys are on page to do that as well. So those goaltenders need reps. Our players need reps too. So the last two games will probably have a good amount of veteran players in them.
And Neal, Ribeiro, and Forsberg's been spending a lot of time together. Is that something that's continued to develop, that you really like the chemistry they're building together?
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at it, we're trying it. It came off of a game where we put them together a couple nights ago, and I thought that they were explosive with their game. They were a dangerous line. I don't, that it wasn't quite as explosive tonight, but they still did some good things and seemed to have some chemistry together.
What's your big takeaway from today? 2 full games, you see everybody on the ice. What do you take away from today?
Well, from a training camp standpoint, these split squad games are terrific because, like you said, 40 players played today. You talk about evaluating in one day. So in that sense, I think it's real positive. You can get a lot more out of today than you could by practicing 55 players and just doing drills. You got to see live game competition, and for young players putting on the uniform for the first time, you get to see how they handle that. And new players coming in, you get to see how they look with your players on your team. You can start to see chemistry on lines. You can work on live situations like power play and penalty kill. So I think it's a lot better than if it was just practice time.
So would you say you feel comfortable going into the last 2 preseason games as you get ready for that home opener? Do you feel comfortable? How do you feel?
No, I don't feel comfortable yet. I still think we have a lot of things that we have to do. There's still things that we have to do on the ice that we haven't really touched on as far as working them on the ice. We've done them, maybe through PowerPoint or video, but I think you got to go out and work on things. The power play has a lot of repetitions that they still need to take, and that'll happen in practice this week where we start to have power play penalty kill practices, and so I think there's things that we still need to do, and I think the pace and our conditioning still needs to be pushed more. Getting familiar with that identity that we're looking for. I mean, I saw it in the first period tonight, but I didn't see it as much in the second period. So that consistency of playing a certain style or a certain brand. So all these things we can work on in practice in last exhibition games to prepare ourselves, but no, we're not there yet.
Players like Kevin Fiala come over from Europe and obviously have to adjust to a different ice size. What's the biggest challenge for players like that, and how do you think he's handled that so far?
I think he's handled that probably better than anybody thought. You know, you get a really young player that comes over that hasn't played in a North American, an NHL atmosphere and an NHL rink on a regular basis, and to mix in with, some players that are twice his age. And you always wonder how that's going to turn out. And I think some young players handle it well, and some don't. I think he's done an excellent job of handling that. He's mature. He's worked hard every day. He's an explosive player. That's the best way to put it. He can go out on the ice in a game like that, and he can make something happen. And a lot of times when you're young like that, you can easily blend in. And he does a good job of standing out.
Ekblad and Mitchell finished -3. What do you think led to that success against them?
Oh, I'm not sure. I liked some of the things that we did offensively. Our guys, and like I said, the first period I thought we were strong, and third period we seemed to get back to it a little bit with some scoring chances. But